Today we're going to be talking about baby envy. So, essentially baby envy is when you as a human being, as a woman or a man that are trying to have a child, or even, I don't even think you really need to be trying to have a child. Maybe you are just jealous that everyone around you is going so much faster than you are, because I've definitely felt that type of baby envy before. When all of my friends wouldn't slow down and just stop having babies and just live their lives in their early 20s, early teens, or late teens. That was something that I was like, okay, everybody needs to just slow down. This is ridiculous. This is too much. And I think that ultimately, a lot of people that I know really rushed into parenting. And that just left me feeling like when I wasn't at that same place in my life, it just left me feeling like I was somehow wrong or broken. And I was somehow missing out on something that I didn't have. And a lot of us, there's a lot of us that, out there that have felt baby envy. This baby envy is a little bit different than that kind of baby envy, because this is the one where you are doing the best that you can to make a baby. You and your spouse are in talks to make a baby, and you just feel terrible about yourself for not being able to make a baby. You feel frustrated because progress doesn't seem to be happening. You are stressed out because of the lack of progress, and then also because people around you seem to be getting pregnant left and right just fine. And on top of that, I know one of the worst things for me, but I know this sometimes happens with others as well, is being jealous of people and the happiness that they have, especially if it's unexpected. Like, for me personally, if it's a tricky situation, I will be more jealous of that person than I will be anyone else. So, given the fact that tricky situations do happen all around me, I'm pretty much, during this period in time where I was recording this, in May, I was super envious of pretty much everyone that was having a baby. And it was always like a spontaneous, I'm having a baby, and me going, really? Like, why now? Like, when is it my turn? And like, do I get a say in this? And it wasn't really my say in the first place, but it's like, feels like shock, and it feels overwhelming, and it feels unfair, especially when you are trying for your own baby and it's just not working out month to month. Every month you are looking at that test, becoming disappointed, and then re-excited the next month, hopeful, and then disappointed again. And so it's just like the whole process is kind of like that. And when you go through baby envy, you are jealous of pretty much everyone around you that has a baby, especially for me, if they're in a worse circumstance than I'm in, or younger than me, or both. Both is really, really hard to deal with. So this is something that I kind of wanted to put out there. This is how I was feeling in May. I was having a lot of envy and a lot of confusion around my cycle, not really sure what was going on. In April, I didn't ovulate, and I was very, very confused. And so now I'm a lot more comfortable with it. But yeah, I was dealing with a lot of baby envy back in May, and Louie's dealing with a lot of baby envy currently, and it's October. So it's just kind of like every time you see a friend, like Louie had a friend that posted up about they were going to have their, third baby, and Louie was super jealous. He was super jealous, and he was mad about it because he was like, they're on their third, what the fuck? Like, can't we just have one? And for those of you who don't talk to us much or don't know us in person, we've been trying for a baby for 10 months now. we have a couple months to go. In December, that will actually be our 1 year mark. So it's a lot. It's stressful. But I feel like we really hit the hammer on the head this time around. And I really think that baby envy is an important topic to talk about. So without further ado, we're going to get into the video. So I just felt like doing a log today, and just kind of putting something, how I'm feeling out there. We're still going strong, you know, still trying to make everything work, still trying to conceive. It's just really hard, and when you're waiting, it can be very emotionally exhausting. And everything around you, you know, you can start to get some baby envy going on. Everything around you just seems like, even though in reality it's not really like a snap back at you. It's not like a, you know, shade at you, or like, it's not the way you emotionally take it in real life. You know, it can be very difficult to really connect with how you're feeling in terms of you don't always like feel happy when you're trying and things aren't working out. You know, sometimes it can seem like every little thing is just a laugh in your face, and it makes you very envious and very jealous. One of the things that I have going on, so I think I've talked about this in a previous thing. If not, then I'll just go ahead and say it now. But so a couple months into my TTC journey, actually like a month, 2 months in, my mom called me to tell me that she was going to be a grandma for the first time, and I spent like a week trying to really come down from that, really just deal with it, but the whole thing just felt like a big fuck you to me. Just felt like, you know, you're trying to conceive a baby, and you are in a place where you're ready for that, but fuck you. You know, this, you know, girl that your brother's with is gonna do it before you, and she's gonna have, you know, the baby and everything before you, and it just is the way it is, and it sucks for you. And it just felt like I was losing something, like I had lost the opportunity to make my mom a grandma for the first time. Like I am just sitting here, you know, like, and I'm so excited to have another nephew, but I'm like sitting here and just like thinking to myself, like, still that comes back to me, you know, like it still comes back to me to make me feel like jealous, you know, envious, upset. You know, I still think about, you know, when I see her posts and stuff like that, I'm like thinking to myself, like, I wish that was me, you know, I wish I was going through that. And right now, you know, when I see things at the grocery store and like I'm out, like I was out, not last night, the night before, I was out to go get some stuff for dinner, and I almost cried at the grocery store because that is like magazines like along the checkout, and there was one, and it was like Chip and Joanna Gaines, and it was like, oh, they're so excited for baby number 5 and this and that, and I'm over here just like almost cried because I was like, this, I can't even, right now I can't even conceive baby number 1, like I don't give a shit about who's on baby number 5, like, so So it's kind of like it stung, when I saw that it stung, even though that's someone else's happiness and someone else's life and what's going on in someone else's life. Sometimes as women that are trying to conceive or having fertility issues, it really feels like, just it's in your face, it's like, and it causes you to be jealous. So you're jealous and you're hurt and you're upset and you want your time to come, and everyone around you just is going to be like, God's timing is perfect and God's timing will come and like it'll all work out and it'll eventually happen. But then you're like sitting at it and you're 6-7 months into your TTC journey and you don't even know when you last ovulated. I have no idea when I ovulated last month at all, and that was the month that I religiously tracked it every day. So I'm over here just thinking to myself, like, when is it my time? Am I not ovulating, or did I just not ovulate that one month, or am I ever gonna have that happen for me? I'm ready now, and I'm here. So it's hard to go through when you're going through it, just really feeling envious and dealing with your feelings of envy and sadness and depression. Even like right now, I'm still feeling a little bit like, what's the point? Like, I'm not as excited as I was at the very beginning. I'm kind of just like, well, what's the point of even wanting it? Like, what's the point of, if it happens, it happens. But that's pretty much where I'm at. But, alright, I'm gonna go because my dog's barking at something, so bye! I want to make one thing really, really clear now that you've seen that video. I absolutely love my nephew. He was born in September and he is so cute, and he made everybody worry sick about him when he was born. So all of us are really, really attached to him, and we really, really love him a lot. So I absolutely love my nephew. I love my brother so much. I think that he is doing the best that he can in a difficult situation, and he's really trying to do everything that he knows how, and really struggling to try to figure out how he's going to parent this child once it starts to become active and start to talk and think for itself. He's dealing with those kinds of things, but ultimately I am really supportive of him, and I really love his girlfriend. I think she's an excellent person. I think that she meant no ill will, and I know she showed me a lot of compassion and empathy regarding my situation. I've talked to her several times about this situation, and I just wanted to clarify that. Like, I have no ill will towards her or my brother or my nephew, but I'm jealous that they get to have that and I don't. And I know they've had their struggles to get to where they are, but they're so blessed every day to have their little guy in their arms, and to be able to feed him and put cute outfits on him and talk to him and sing to him and stuff. They're so lucky, and I wish I could be that lucky. And something that I kind of have started to struggle with as an adult is I absolutely love babies. But one of my nephews that was born last year, I got kind of a little bit of a wake-up call about like kind of space issues, which I really wasn't thinking that I was doing, and I probably wasn't being as overdramatic as they were trying to get me to believe that I was being. But essentially I got scared because I was accused of trying to kidnap my nephew before my nephew was even out of the womb. Different brother, different girl and everything, but I was accused of that, and honestly I had no intention of doing that. To best of my knowledge, I had not said or shown anything to do that, but I'm not quite sure why they thought that. But inevitably, as an adult, it's hard to love babies when you're a grown woman with no children, because people start to look at you suspiciously, and that's something that I've really had to deal with lately. is just people kind of like being like, well, why don't you have kids? Like, okay, well, right now I'm trying to have kids, and I am in a place where I'm ready to have kids, but it's up to God, and it's God's timing, and I don't think I should be judged for that. I don't think that, you know, no one should be basing my ability to be a parent off of the fact that I don't yet have kids. You know, there's plenty of people out there that are not parents, and you can't really tell how you're going to be until you're right there doing it. And I know with all my intuition is telling me that I'm going to be a great mom, but I'm here waiting for God's timing. Maybe God has more work to do on me. Maybe it's just not time yet, you know. This time around, this cycle, things have been going really great, and everything seemed to line up on time, and I'm feeling really, really positive about it, and I'm feeling very hopeful, and I've gotten rid of a lot of my anxieties, but inevitably I had to struggle with baby envy just like everyone else, and especially for a lot of friends and family, it's really hard to be jealous of them all the time because you really just want to be happy for them, and you can't really be fully happy when you're sitting there wishing that you could have that too, you know, and just being mad because they have it and you don't. And you know, that's something I really had to work through, and it's a part of my journey, you know. That's something I really wanted to talk about. At a later date, I'll actually go into baby envy, like kind of like symptoms and like reaction, but yeah, so for most people, I just have to say this. So during this time period, I was planning my brother's girlfriend's baby shower because to me, the best thing I can do in that situation is to show them as much love as possible. Especially since they were new parents, they were scared, they weren't sure what they were going to do, their situation was iffy, and honestly, I just have to say that my response was to give them love, even though I was feeling like shit on the inside, you know, and I just wanted them to be happy, and I was grateful when they walked away thankful from the situation. So the whole time I was planning that baby shower was really hard for me, but it was something I worked through because I love those people in my life. So some of the things that it says, like when you have baby envy, is to like avoid contact with babies and avoid contact with people that have babies. And honestly, I feel like for myself, for my own personal needs, working through the baby envy, by throwing a baby shower, by getting through that, and trying to, you know, show like how I am as an aunt to my brother for the first time, even though he's not seen me that way. Just trying to be fully myself, you know, very comfortable in my position, in my role, and really work through some of the pain, you know, some of the regret and the agony of just not being able to be there, you know. At a point, I wanted to give up, and I chose not to give up. I chose to keep going, and there was a lot of frustration, you know, a lot of, why those other people, why not me? And that's very common with baby envy, is just feeling like, you know, somehow, for some reason, you're not getting what you deserve, I guess. And so in a way, I think it's a little bit entitled, but I think it's a hormonal thing, and so I just think that ultimately we want to protect ourselves, you know, and being jealous of other people when we're hurting and we're suffering and we're wanting something that we aren't getting. It can be hard to watch other people get those things. And that's true with anything, really, but with babies in particular, if you have a strong urge to be a mother, it's like crushing. It's so devastating to watch other people have that happiness and know that you are doing everything you can, but there's not much more you can do. You can't make it happen, you know? And that was really hard. But I honestly put my heart and soul into planning their baby shower, and I've worked through a lot of my baby envy, and I have a newfound joy surrounding how I feel about becoming a mom for the first time. And I really had to work around all of the stress that I felt coming out of the first month and having a chemical pregnancy. I really had to work around that. And so, yeah, I've had my moments of baby envy. I've had my moments of resentment and anger and frustration. And I think that this is an important issue to talk about. This is how I was feeling, and I'm really glad that I logged that, because ultimately it's just, another step in our journey. And, inevitably on the other side of all the anger and frustration, there's going to be a little baby, and it's going to be mine. And I don't know when, and I don't know how. Maybe it's through adoption, maybe something really works out. I'm really not sure. All I know is that it hasn't happened yet, and the wait is long. That's all I know. I am right on the edge of entering my 2-week wait, and so I'm just sticking it out, trying to find things to preoccupy myself, which is not hard to do. I've been playing a lot of Skyrim lately, but yeah, just kind of trying to feel everything out. But that is the video for today. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed, please like and subscribe to see more content. Thank you, and have a great day.